Hey y'all, happy Vlogmas day 4. I know y'all see that bomb ass jerk chicken and that Jamaican cabbage. I'm about to show y'all how to make it, so let's go. Okay y'all, so we're gonna start with the chicken. Listen, I'll be giving y'all some easy recipes. This recipe is real easy. So we're gonna start with just the regular seasonings. So we got some onion powder, some garlic powder, I did some black pepper, and then I also put some blackened seasoning. And then from there, we're gonna move to our Jamaican spices. Okay, so we're gonna add some jerk seasoning. I use the Caribbean brand. I got it from Kroger. And then for my marinade, I use the Caribbean jerk from Kroger as well because I cannot find a actual jerk marinade. It was all sold out. So I did make sure I put the marinade all over the chicken, y'all, because this is gonna marinate overnight. So I did this the night before I was supposed to cook the chicken. Next, we're gonna add in some browning. This was my first time using browning. I heard it was just for color, so I didn't use too much, but yeah, I could definitely tell the difference once I added it in. And then the star of the show is the actual jerk seasoning paste. Y'all be generous with this if you want. I did mild, I did not do hot because I didn't want it to be too spicy, but I put about 3.5 tablespoons in there. And then I got me a plastic glove and just decided to mix it up evenly, make sure every piece in the chicken is coated. I'm pretty sure I had stopped midways and added a little bit more of the jerk seasoning. It just really depends on how strong you want that flavor to be. So once I was done mixing, this is what your chicken should look like. Everything just all sauced up. Y'all know I'm a saucy girl, okay? So I need mine to marinate well. I put that in the refrigerator overnight. And then the next morning, I went ahead and coated my pan with a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna chop up some red onions, bell peppers, green onions, and some green bell peppers as well. So that's like the base of our chicken. So I put that at the bottom first, make sure it was coated in all the olive oil, and then I placed my chicken on top. So what I'm doing right here is just basically making sure the chicken is laid out evenly. You want it to cook thoroughly throughout when you put it in the oven. So just make sure it's not overlapping. You know, this is your time if you want to add a little more sauce, add a little more sauce. But this is ultimately what the chicken should look like before it goes into the oven. I went ahead and wrapped it with some foil for the first hour that I'm gonna cook it because I did cook it for 2 hours. So wrap it with foil and you're gonna bake it for an hour at 350. And then this is how it should look the first time when you take it out. So as y'all can see, it doesn't have much color to it. I like mine a little dark, a little burnt. So once I let it cook for that first hour, I took it out, flipped it. As y'all can see, I added a little bit more sauce on top. I kind of drizzled it. And then once I'm done flipping everything, this is where I go in and I add my jerk barbecue sauce. So we did the marinade, we did the browning, we did the seasoning, but now you want to add the barbecue sauce. So I'm not sure why the barbecue sauce was coming out like this. It was a little weird, but I put a little bit on kind of like each corner, and I used a little spatula thing to just kind of smear it, make sure every piece of chicken has sauce. And then once I'm done doing this, I'm gonna put it back in the oven, uncovered for another hour at 350 degrees. And now we're about to move on to our cabbage while we wait for that. So for the cabbage, y'all, I usually dice it in chunks, but for the Jamaican cabbage, a lot of people, I've seen them cutting it up in like thin slices. So that's why I'm cutting it long ways like this. And then if you are wondering, I did use 2 heads of cabbage. They weren't that small, actually. They were a pretty nice size. Cabbage fills up the bowls and the pots quick, y'all. But keep in mind, once you steam it, it goes down. So I definitely didn't have a problem with cooking all this cabbage. So now we're gonna work on our veggies that we're putting inside of the cabbage, which is gonna be onions, green peppers, and red bell peppers. I cut my onion in slices. I didn't do thick slices. It was pretty thin. Don't watch me when I'm cutting, okay? I don't know why I was cutting like this, but I'm gonna cut my finger off one day. I just be doing whatever. But yeah, we're gonna cut up some veggies and then we're gonna go ahead and place those in the bowl with the cabbage as well. And I also used a whole onion. That is because I like onion. Well, I didn't even use the whole one. I had about a fourth left over, but yeah, I like a lot of onion, y'all. I like a lot of veggies in general. So I feel like the cabbage, you can literally fill it up your way with however many veggies you want. So the next veggie we're gonna add is a carrot. I forgot to tell you about the carrot. But yeah, the carrot, I did shave the first portion off because it was a little dusty on the outside. I did wash it. And then I just shaved this down until I got a whole bunch of little slices. And with the carrot, I use majority of the carrot. You're gonna see how the ends start getting real skinny. I was not playing with that carrot. Alright, so next I'm about to start adding everything to my pot because y'all, the cabbage builds up so quick. So I'm like, let me start smashing everything down. So this is me just adding my sliced up onions and my carrots to the cabbage. And then we're gonna work on our red bell pepper. I didn't do slices for the bell peppers. I actually did these in dices. And y'all, once again, ignore my cutting skills. I'm just doing whatever I want to do, basically. Okay, y'all, and then once I dice up my bell pepper, it's time to add that to the pot as well. And then the last thing we're gonna work on for the cabbage is gonna be the green onions. The green onions, y'all, I just did them in big chunks. I didn't want a whole bunch of little green onions, so I just did them in big chunks. And then I went ahead and added that to my pot as well. And then we're gonna start adding some butter and some seasoning so we can go ahead and get it steamed. So I did add a little bit of olive oil to the pot. I did some minced garlic as well to give it some flavor. I've seen a lot of people seasoning their cabbage with just pepper and salt. Y'all, that was not enough seasoning for me. So I did add some garlic powder. I do always put a little bit of sugar in my cabbage as well. And that is 100% up to you if you want to add that or not. Y'all, this is your food, so definitely add what you feel is necessary. And then the last thing I added was some thyme to give it a little flavor. Y'all, the colors was just given. It just looked really good in this pot. I was like, yeah, I cannot wait to steam this. So I stuffed it, y'all. I put it on the stove. Now, I'm going to show y'all what it looked like about 35 minutes after steaming it. Oh yeah, it was starting to look so good. I was so excited. But yeah, I literally cooked it for, I gave it about an hour, maybe an hour 15 max, just depending on if you want your cabbage crunchy. I like mine's a little more tender, so I did cook it a little longer. But yeah, y'all, once that came off the stove, this is what it looked like. I do keep all of my broth for my cabbage. And oh y'all, look how good that cabbage look. All right, let's go back to the chicken. Once we let that chicken cook for that last hour, baby, that chicken looked good, okay? It had the nice color. It was so tender. It had a good spice, but it wasn't too spicy. And then this is what the cabbage came out looking like, y'all. It was so good, so tender, and so easy to make, y'all. So I made a whole menu of Jamaican food. I was not about to show me cooking all that, y'all, but this is how the chicken looked once I paired it with everything. That's the cabbage. I hope y'all enjoyed this cooking video, and this is gonna wrap up Vlogmas Day 4. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.